Hey guys, Carmine Bianco of WagerTalk.com with a special edition of Stoppage Time. This is the knockout stage edition. The draw was held yesterday, December the 14th, and we have our 8 matchups now. So we are going to discuss those matchups quickly, and then we've got free plays from every single person on today's show, myself included. Let's bring them all in. We're a little tight today, guys, so this is going to be about a 35, 40-minute show. So it seems like if we're rushed, we're just zipping through. We've got a lot on the go today. With me, Nick Borrman and Kevin Dolan of WagerTalk.com and Pavlos Laguretos. Let's go quickly to Nick first. Nick, how you doing?
I'm doing well. Looking forward to the Champions League coming back in, February? So I've got a lot of time to study up and figure out who the hell's going to move on in these things. But I'm excited to talk today.
Also with me is Kevin Dolan of WagerTalk.com. He says he's in Ireland, but I still think he's bunkered up somewhere in Brooklyn, New York. Kev, what's up?
You got to admit, Carmine, it's a good accent, though. It's fooling everybody so far. So, yeah, all's good. Just getting ready for Christmas and, getting the plays ready and all that. So, just busy and, yeah, all's good.
All right. And finally, from Sports Memo, Pavlos Laguretos. He's in a bit of mourning right now because apparently Pornhub got rid of 60% of their videos. So he's a little sad right now, but that's more time to study football. Pavlos, how you doing?
Yeah, it's going great. Apart from that Pornhub section, I mean, I'm really sad about that, but I guess I'll just have to focus on getting better soccer plays now, right?
Yeah, absolutely. All right, listen, before we head into the first couple of group stage matches, there's some really interesting ones. I have to vent for literally 45 seconds, and I'm going to get a yellow card for this anyways, but I'm going to vent. Anyone who watched that Cleveland Browns game yesterday is absolutely, unless you're on the Ravens, what an absolute ending. And I'm telling you, when you've bet long enough and watched this, when there's 2 seconds left on the clock and they're kicking off, that these guys are going to lateral it about 30 times or so. And they just kept going backwards and backwards and backwards. I'm like, oh my God, there's going to be a fumble recovery in the end zone or a safety. And of course it's a safety, and my +3 that looked like a push just went absolutely down the tubes. With that said, I'm over it, or I'll be over it at some point today. Let's get to the first game, guys. The group stages were held on Monday in Europe, and a lot of great matchups here. So we're going to go to the very first one, and Barcelona PSG. I'm going to give the 2 advanced prices for these. We're not going to actually go through the actual games because there's still 2 months before these are played. But let's go to the actual 2 advanced prices. Barcelona -106, PSG -125. I'm starting with this one because anyone who remembers the last time, and guys, I'm going to throw to Nick first on this one. If you guys remember the last time these 2 teams met, PSG won leg 1 at home 4-0 and in the round of 16, and looked like they're on their way easily to knocking off Barcelona. But a Camp Nou, Lionel Messi and gang had a different storyline to write there. They scored 3 goals late to win 6-1 and overturn that 4-0 leg 1 tie, winning 6-5 on aggregate. Nick, quick thoughts on this one. Barcelona, PSG, the reunion of Messi and Neymar.
My quick thought is neither one of these teams is winning this year. I mean, they've both just been very unimpressive far too many times, I think, this season. And I don't like either one to go further. Obviously, one's got to move on from this group, this matchup rather. And if I'm picking somebody, I'm going to go with PSG in this matchup. I just think they have a little bit deeper, which is weird to say, deeper roster right now than Barcelona does. I mean, anytime you see changes in that Barcelona lineup, they just seem to struggle, and they're not getting the results. I mean, PSG has plenty of games where they haven't got the results either. But I don't like either one of these teams this year. I'm not betting either one of these teams this year. I may, if when the lines we get closer to the game, and I may look to bet the single game. Probably either team getting goals is probably the way to play it. I think they're very evenly matched, but gun to my head, if I'm choosing somebody, I'm going to go to PSG, but most likely my money's going to stay in my pocket between this matchup. I don't think either one of them is somebody I want to bet this year.
Kev, last year you had PSG early on, and they made it right to the finals. Any similar run this year from this team?
No, I mean, I said in the season preview, I didn't like PSG as much this year. I thought there'll be a lot of regression out of them, but I do like them in this tie. I fired on two plays so far, and this was one of them. We've seen PSG open up at minus 150. It's sunk to minus 125, and I had to jump in at that stage. I love the value. For me, it's the midfield. You've got guys like Busquets and holding midfield for, Barcelona. I think PSG have far too much pace. I think this is a perfect tie for PSG. I would have paid the minus 150 at minus 125, 4% play for me. And I like PSG to advance in this tie.
All right. Pavlos, thoughts on this?
One of my main concerns is that PSG are known chokers in the stage. They had 3 consecutive eliminations in this stage before last season. And I don't really, it's a testament of how no matter how much money you throw on a team, they just, it's not guaranteed that they'll win titles. And PSG are a testament to that. So even though Barcelona are struggling a lot this season, I think I prefer them to qualify at plus 100, 104, something like that. Yeah, I just PSG, I think it's their last season of being a super team.
Yeah, I tend to agree with you in the sense of, you can never discount a team like Barcelona with the talent that they have. And because they're still 2 months before these games are played, the first or the second week of February, plenty of time for a team to get back into form and put it together. And again, a team with Lionel Messi on it is never really out of it. The one thing that going against them is being the home team in the first game has its disadvantages because you've got to play that leg 2 on the road, and they're going to have to travel to PSG for leg 2. And we've seen Barcelona hasn't done great in leg 2s over the past few years. All right, our first free play before we head to the next couple of games is none other than Kevin Dolan. Kev has a play on tomorrow's EPL game between Brighton and Fulham. Kev, give us the lowdown.
Yeah, I like the over in this game, tomorrow's EPL game between Brighton and Fulham. Fulham are playing well right now. They come off that remarkably tough stretch of games against top-tier opponents. We've seen them against Leicester, Man City, Liverpool, and they've held their own in each. They took 4 points off Leicester and Liverpool, respectively, over the last 3 games. They held Manchester City to just 1 goal from open play as well over that stretch. While Fulham have a season XG just 1.16 goals per game this year, over their last 4 games against all of those quality opponents who we mentioned, they've upped that considerably to 1.48 XG on average. Taking out the City game where they were particularly bad increases that even further to 1.88 expected goals against. So this Fulham offense are definitely capable of getting goals against Brighton here. Brighton have given up 5 goals over their last 2 games in the EPL, but generally have been more consistent on the road this year than have been at home. So I think, Mopé and that Brighton attack can also find success here against the Fulham defence, shipping the most number of goals at home this season in the league. Also with an expected goals against average of 1.93 to boot. Both of these teams are the most aggressive in the league with 44 yellows and 4 red cards between them. So we could very easily see either a penalty or free kicks given in dangerous areas in this one also, which helps drive that over as well. All things combined, I think we're getting a cheap line at 2.25, and I like the over to hit on Wednesday between Brighton and Fulham.
All right, over 2.25. That's a split Asian line, so half your wager is graded at 2, half is graded at 2.5. That's Kevin Dolan. Kevin's on a 15-5-1 run with soccer sides, 24-17-3 run with soccer total. So he's got a great couple of streaks going right now. You can head over to wagertalk.com and find his cappers page and see what he's got up for the next few days. It's Tuesday, guys, so it is $2 Tuesdays at Wager Talk and Sports Memo. Your featured capper at Wager Talk is none other than myself. This week, I have a 5% soccer total up on the weekend. This is a weekend play on Saturday. 66.2%, 89.97% bankroll gain last 30 days in soccer. I'm trying to end December off with a fantastic little run. You can get that play for only $2 today. And included with that play are a bunch of different promos that you can also pick up. One other promo I've got up, guys, for all of us here is a full year of soccer, $350 off if you use the promo code CHAMP350 at checkout. So get a year of any one of the cappers' soccer plays next year, including all 5% plays. I will go one step further. If you pick up this package between now and December 31st and email your receipt to promotions@wagertalk.com, I will make sure they credit your account with an additional 100 wager bucks to use on that capper's other plays. So for guys like Kevin, who's got rugby, football, boxing, Nick with golf and tennis, and Pavlos with European basketball, you can pick up those plays with that $100 of free wager bucks. So head over to wagertalk.com or Sports Memo and pick up that deal. All right, we're going to move to the next couple of games here. The next one up is the Leipzig-Liverpool game. Leipzig is plus 250 to advance. Liverpool is minus 350. I am going to go to Pavlos first on this one.
Yeah, Leipzig, they made a really bad loss against another English team, Manchester United, but they did bounce back with another win at home. I don't really like Leipzig this season solely for the fact that they sold Werner and they have they don't have a genuine forward. They have like all these forwards that play at the edge of the offense. So I don't really, they're not really my kind of team this season. Liverpool, I think they'll be healthy by the time these matches will be played. I think that they'll have the right mindset. Klopp will definitely do that to his players. He's a very good coach. So I think I'm siding with Liverpool also because of the fact that they play the first match on the road. So they'll have the second match at home, the second leg. So I think I'm on Liverpool with this.
All right.
In this tie.
Okay, I'm going to go to Kev next. I kind of leapfrogged a game here, so my apologies there. But Leipzig, Liverpool, Kev.
Yeah, I mean, from the season preview, I've only got positive things to say about Leipzig. I really like this team. I really like Julian Nagelsmann as a manager. I think he's one of the best managers in the game. But I think this is a little bit of a step too far. When Liverpool are on form, they're one of the best teams in Europe. So, I do expect Liverpool to progress. But, minus 350, I wouldn't be getting to the betting window with that. But, I agree with Pavlos, Liverpool to progress.
Mr. Borrman.
I disagree with both of these idiots. I'm sorry, guys. I didn't really mean that. But I do disagree. And listen, I'll preface this. We all reserve the right to change our mind, right? These games are 2 months away. The way it looks today, I would go with Leipzig. And I mean, obviously we have injuries to deal with. I don't know who's going to be healthy for Liverpool come this matchup. Same with the German team. But Leipzig leads the Bundesliga in expected goals numbers right now by a wide margin, 1.33 differential per game there on the positive. Next best teams in the league are Bayern plus 0.92 and Dortmund plus 0.92 and Bayern plus 0.89. So it's quite a gap that they've put up so far. And of course, they're coming off that 3-3 game where they were the better team against Bayern. Liverpool, they're not the same team so far this year. Yes, they've been battling a ton of injuries. And again, that's the key to these things is, 2 months from now, we don't know. The way I look at it today and where I see value right now is actually taking Leipzig plus 300. I think this is one of the few bigger priced, if you'll call it, underdogs that I'd be willing to take in this first round. But I would take the German team. I think plus 300 is a decent price to get them. Everything they've done so far this year, they've had a couple bad games, but who hasn't? It seems like this year, right? With all the scheduling. But I like them. I think the German team have a good chance to pull an upset off here.
Yeah, and as we head into the, and I agree with you completely, and as we head into the third game, these are the two advanced prices. So to move on to the next round, with some of these ones where obviously the dogs are at home in Leg 1, if you think they're going to get a result in Leg 1 and put themselves in a good position for Leg 2, taking that plus price before that first game is important because you can actually probably get a better price on the home team in Leg 2 if you want to sort of lock in a profit. So there's a lot of opportunities as far as that goes. All right, we're going to head to the next one, straight into the next one. This one should be an easy one. FC Porto plus 350 against Juventus minus 550. I don't think I really need to talk to you guys about who I like here. So I'm going to go to Kev first.
Yeah, I mean, this line is absolutely shot through the roof. It opened up Juventus minus 450 yesterday. It's now up to minus 550. So a ton of money coming in Juventus. I definitely can't get to the window at minus 550. I do expect Juventus to progress. I think actually Portuguese teams in general have regressed over the last 15 years due to possibly selling their star players younger than they were before. So yeah, even though I expect Juventus to get through, I'm not going anywhere near minus 550.
Yeah, that's a huge price, Pavlos, at minus 550. It's kind of hard, and it's the same thing I said. But these two teams met in the knockout stages. I think it was 3 years ago. Juve won 2-0 at Porto, and then came home and finished them off with a 1-0 victory, 3-0 on aggregate. Any chance of an upset here, Pavlos?
I don't think so. I already picked Juve as my dark horse to win the Champions League this season. I don't think that Porto are going to get in the way. Maybe they'll have an under 2.5 game in Portugal. But yeah, I think it's Juventus all the way here.
Nick, you have a love for Italian teams, especially Inter Milan for some reason. I'm not really sure why.
Terrible.
You want to switch over to Juve? The bandwagon is still open. Your thoughts here?
Yeah, I do. I mean, Juve is going to advance from this match. It's not bettable in the advanced thing, but, looking at the first game, I know we're not talking about the game lines right now. If you like Juve, they're just minus 110 right now to win on the road. I think it's a good way to take them. I don't see any way Porto, the only non-Big Five team, by the way, in this competition. I don't see them hanging here. Juve should progress with this one rather easily.
All right. A couple teams, one that made me very happy with a win on match day 6. Borussia Dortmund and Sevilla. Sevilla is plus 137. Dortmund is minus 188. Price seems a little low to me, Kev, on this one here. Dortmund has struggled a little bit the last little while, but that has to do with obviously with Haaland out of the lineup with a torn hamstring, but he will be back in the new year. So your thoughts on this?
Yeah, I mean, we had Dortmund as that Group F winner, minus 120. So, it came down to match day 6, obviously, but it cashed. Dortmund are a team that I like. They were one of the, the outside shot picks when we did the preview show of this. So, again, I just don't see. Again, minus 188, I'm tempted by that price. It is steep. But, Sevilla, to me, are a Europa League team. I can't see them hanging with Dortmund over 2 legs. And we have to remember that too. This is 2 legs. This isn't like how it finished up last year for those new to the Champions League. Leon putting out Man City and so on. 2 legs is a different animal. I think Dortmund get through.
Pavlos, I'm going to go to you next. I know you, like I always mention, Pavlos, you watch a lot of La Liga action. Can Sevilla knock them off?
If you asked me that question last season, I'd say yes. But this season, Sevilla they're not very, their defense is struggling a little bit. They don't keep a lot of clean sheets. They play a different type of soccer than previous seasons. And Dortmund are much, they know that type of soccer much better. I think Haaland will be healthy when this game will be played, when this tie will be played. And most of their defense, that's why they're struggling actually. Their defense is like very depleted. So yeah, I think that Dortmund will score an away goal in the first leg and they will progress.
Nick, you have membership with the Yellow Wall in Germany and this Borussia Dortmund team. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I love Dortmund. I think it's pretty simple. Haaland plays, they win. Haaland doesn't play, Sevilla's got a chance. So we're assuming Haaland's going to be back, which seems to be the case. And you want to see a team that is just completely different with one player on or in or out of the lineup. It's Dortmund with Haaland. I mean, he just does so much for them. Yeah, we know he scores goals, but he's so good offensively, and they know how to play through him so well. I think it helps their defense quite a bit when he's on the field too, and that's where they're struggling. They just gave up 5 goals to Stuttgart last weekend. I mean, what the hell is that? So Dortmund over 2 legs. Kevin is right. 2 legs is a big deal. I think they will advance through this one.
Yeah, Nick, you nailed it on the head. There are teams that you lose one player and it just changes the complete makeup of the team. So you're bang on with that one. And their manager was fired after that 5-1 loss on the weekend. So we'll see what that does to that team moving forward. Okay, guys, another free play. We're going to go to Pavlos for this one. This game is being played today at 12:30 in Italy, Serie A. It's Udinese, Crotone. Pavlos is 60.4% ROI with 4% best bets since the beginning of November. Give us a winner here, Pavlos.
Yeah, I'm picking Udinese with minus 1.75. And let me tell you why. They started the season struggling, but they have won each of their last 3 Serie A matches. In their last match, they beat Torino in what was a very interesting match. I had Torino in that match. But Udinese, they came up big. They scored a late goal and they won. But it's pretty much a fade to Crotone. Crotone are sitting at the bottom of the standings. They are by far the worst team in the Serie A this season. They have the worst defense with just 10 goals in 11 matches. They have the second worst defense with 25 conceded goals. On the road, they have 4 losses and a draw in 5 matches. They've scored just 4 goals and they have conceded 13. They are coming off a huge win by 4-1 last week, but it was against Spezia, which is the other newcomers in the Serie A, so which should just brush that result away. So I'm picking Udinese at home with minus 0.75 at, let me see the odds, at minus 119.
All right, that's Pavlos Laguretos stats. So with those lines, when you see something minus 0.75, that means it's minus a half, minus 1 on the Asian split line. So half your wager is graded at minus a half of it is graded at minus 1. All right, guys, we're going to move on to the 5th and 6th games. Atletico Madrid and Atletico Madrid and Chelsea. Atletico plus 120, Chelsea minus 163. I'm going to go to Nick first on this one. It seems like in the draw, nobody wanted to face this Atletico team of the number 1 seeds. Nobody wanted to face this Atletico team, and Chelsea fans were pretty upset, and they took to Twitter on Monday after the draw.
This has to be the toughest matchup to really break down and try to figure out who's going to advance. I could make an argument either way. We know how good Atletico is defensively. Chelsea, I don't think people realize how well they've been. They lead the Premier League right now, allowing just 0.93 expected goals against in league action this year, which is tops in the league. Madrid, right there at the same number, 0.86 in La Liga. It's the second lowest in that league. The slight advantage I give here is to experience on Madrid's side. I mean, Chelsea, they have a lot of young players. They put a lot of money into this team. They got a lot of excitement, a lot of years ahead of them to do what we think they will do. But right now, experience, Champions League, knockout stages, 2 legs, I give a little lean to Madrid just for that reason. I think it's going to be very close. I think either one could win in the end, but I lean a little bit to the Spain side on this one, guys.
Yeah, and Kev, I'm going to go to you next on this one. You and I both have futures on Atletico Madrid at 20-1 that we played before the tournament started. You know, if this was flip-flopped and Atletico had leg 2 at home, I think that the price would pretty much be Atletico minus 200, believe it or not, against Chelsea in that instance. Playing that first game at home is it's such a negative thing. You look at Atletico; they won that game against Juve a couple years back, 2-0 at home, and looked on their way. And then Ronaldo 3 goals at home in League 2. It's so tough. But we saw what Atletico did to Liverpool last year as well too, in the same scenario. Win at home, go to Liverpool and win there. So your thoughts here? Upset?
Yeah, I don't think it's always a negative as well. They'll know exactly what they have to do in London. So we said at the start, I fired on 2 plays. I doubled down on Atletico. I love them in this spot. It's just for me, they're a mix. These 2 teams are very similar in terms of mix of experience and youth. But Atletico's mix seems to have gelled a lot quicker. I think there's a lot of problems on this Chelsea team. He's been forced to, Nick talked about Haaland, for instance. There's a striker who can link up play with the midfielders, get in dangerous positions. We see Lampard has to start players like Giroud, who's useless. The oldest player in the Champions League to score a hat-trick, whatever. He's no good. He's stationary. And I just think Atletico are the play here for sure, and especially plus 120. Give me that all day long.
All right, Pavlos, you heard that. Giroud. But that guy just he gets his head on the ball. He's for some reason it's like Benzema. the exact same thing. Any chance here of a Atletico upset?
Yeah, I think that Atletico, they're coached by Simeone. He's a guy that's been in the team with the team for like I don't know how many years. He's been there for a long time, and he has this defensive mindset, and it always kicks in important matches like that. So with the first match being played in Spain, I expect a low-scoring match. They'll try to shut Chelsea out, but if Chelsea score, I think they'll advance because. They might have fans in England when the second leg is going to be played. So if Chelsea score in the first leg, I think they'll advance. But I think that Atletico Madrid will shut them out. It's a really I can't pick a winner here. I think I'd go with Atletico just because they have a higher number, the odds are higher. But I'd rather stay away from this match. I'd rather play the unders here.
Yeah, it's definitely the toughest one. Atletico have a very good defense, and I always say a good midfield and a good defense is what I look for if you're looking for a team to upset another one. And then that takes us to this next game where Pep Guardiola always says and he's not involved in this game, but a good offense is the best defense. And here we have Bayern Munich, which absolutely, they seem like they can score at will. What a price on this one. The defending champions, minus 1,400 against Lazio, plus 800. I'm going to go to Kev first on this one. Any chance? Is there any chance of Lazio pulling off?
No, there's not. No. I mean, this line opened up minus 1,000 yesterday. It's now up to minus 1,400. So even at the heavy price, some serious money's got involved. This is a one and done. Bayern Munich easily through to the next round. Lazio don't have the talent to keep up with them.
All right, slam dunk, Pavlos. Nick.
Of all teams, all 16 teams in the competition, Lazio is the only team with a negative expected goal differential in their domestic league. Enough said. They ain't moving on.
All right, Pavlos.
Yeah, I agree with everyone. The Lazio are just really bad this season. I mean, Bayern Munich will destroy their defense. Will just destroy it.
All right. So I'm sorry about this one, guys. We couldn't really, it seems like a slam dunk, and I think it really is one of those slam dunks. So with that said, we're going to move on to the next free play. I want to say hi to everyone in chat. I'm not actually monitoring it because I'm trying to keep the show moving as quick as possible because we're on a time constraint here. We're going to go to Nick Borrman next for the free play. Nick is 90% bankroll gain in soccer since July, absolutely heating up and running good. He's going to have a free play on a Serie A game that goes tomorrow at 2:45, Bologna versus Spezia. Nick, give us a play.
Yeah, I'm looking over the total here. I really like playing over on two bad defensive teams. This is what we're looking at, and both teams near the bottom of the table. Definitely it's a game that either one will try to get 3 points and push for the win. So I think there's value right now in taking the over. Bologna is allowing two goals per game, 1.79 on the expected side. Spezia allowing 2.1 goals per game, 1.89 on the expected side, which is 18th in the league, and Bologna is at 16th in the league. So again, two very bad defensive teams. They don't have a lot of history between each other. They did play last year in the Coppa Italia. It was a 2-2 game, 24 goal attempts, 15 shots on goal. Probably won't get quite that high here, but typically the rule of thumb is 1 goal for every 3 shots on target. It's kind of like the Big Five average, if you will. So if we get anywhere double-digit shots on goal, 10 shots, something like that, this thing should have no problem going over. And bad defenses, I think we'll see plenty of opportunities. So go over the total, over 2.75 right now. Spezia, Bologna on Wednesday.
I love it. And we're seeing a lot of scoring in Serie A. We've talked about it. It's been mentioned on Twitter, I think, by Nick as well, too. So let's hope we see some goals on Wednesday in Serie A, and especially in this Bologna-Spezia game. We're on to our last couple of games. But before we do that, just a little quick reminder. It's $2 Tuesday at Wager Talk and Sports Memo. Our featured cappers on each site. You can get one of their best plays for only $2. Today it is yours truly. I have a 5% play that goes this weekend in soccer. 68% lifetime at Wager Talk with these 5% soccer totals. So you can head over there and get that for $2 today. And in the body of the play, there are also a bunch of promos that you can take advantage of. Also, Champ 350, the coupon to get 1 year of soccer from any one of the 4 cappers on today's show. $350 off the regular price. That's a great deal. I'm going to keep that coupon valid until December 31st. And as an added bonus, if you pick up any one of the cappers on this page, if you pick up that 1 year soccer package, email your receipt to promotions@wagertalk.com and I'll have them credit your account with an additional $100 in wager bucks that you can get plays from that capper. So head over to wagertalk.com or Sports Memo and take advantage of that deal. All right, final 2 games at Atalanta and Real Madrid. A little bit of turmoil going on in Atalanta right now with Papu Gomez. Atalanta's plus 275. Real Madrid is minus 400, and they seem to be coming into form. I'm going to go to Pavlos first on this one.
If this match was played today, I'd go with Atalanta. Even though they're struggling, they have just they've struggled to score goals lately. But that means that they are actually shaping up their defense. They don't allow their matches to go over the totals. They just have 1 over in their last 7 matches. Same goes for Real Madrid. These are 2 teams that struggled a bit inside the when the season started. But the coaches made the decisions to just pull the teams back a little bit, shape up the defense, and then move on to the offense. So, Real Madrid, they have a lot of success in this stage. They've met teams like Atalanta in the past. I think they'll progress here, but I don't like the price. I mean, if anything, I'd go with Atalanta here just because the price is too good at plus 275. But I think I'll just deal with the individual matches from this matchup.
Kev, thoughts on this one? I love this Atalanta team and the way they're playing, but with everything I'm reading that's coming out of Italy, we might not see Gomez as part of the team in the new year.
Yeah, and I mean, the price does look enticing on Atalanta, plus 275. Considering that Real Madrid haven't been all that great. But, this is when the big teams show up. We were saying that, and we've seen them against Mönchengladbach. Players like Luka Modric, and Benzema, they show up for the big games domestically, not doing so hot. So as much again as I like, this is a bit like the Leipzig game for me. As much as I like Atalanta, I love Gasperini as a coach. But to me, Real Madrid will find a way to get through. The only problem for Real Madrid is when they come up and against a better equipped team, who also know how to win in clutch situations. But for me, Real Madrid get through, although I'm definitely not betting at minus 400.
Absolutely. Nick, you were a big fan of Atalanta last year. Chance of an upset?
Still a big fan. I just like the way they play, but I don't think so. I think Atalanta's chance was last year. 1-leg ties. They had PSG on the ropes in that game and still couldn't do it, right? 5 minutes ago, they still blew it. And I just don't think they know how, if they do have a lead after the first game or are, I guess, draw after the first game. It doesn't matter. I don't think they have enough over 2 legs to take out Real Madrid. I do like, if we're talking about that first game, the plus quarter of a goal on Atlanta, actually, at home. But over the course of the 2 legs, you got to go with Madrid here. Price is too much to really bet, so maybe look at the individual games when situation comes up, especially when it goes back to Spain. But I think Real Madrid will be too much.
All right, Nick, I'm going to keep it with you on this final one. Man City minus 1,200, Mönchengladbach plus 700. Give us your thoughts on this one.
City. I know people. They're one of those teams that's like they've been so good for the last few years that when they struggle a little bit, people are quick to write them off. But it's still Manchester City. I mean, Gladbach are really, they're not getting results in the Bundesliga. First of all, so far this year, their XG numbers are still okay at plus 0.61 expected goal differential per game. But the warning signs are there. In the group stage against Shakhtar, Real Madrid, and Inter Milan, they average minus 0.3 expected goals per game. So they were in the negative, and they advanced because of 2 huge wins over Shakhtar that they really capitalized on. But over 2 legs, City will win. City will move on. Minus 835. It's probably gone up. That's what the notes I wrote were from last night. It's probably higher than that now. Is not really a bettable number, of course, but I can't see anything else but a City progression.
And Kev, I'm going to have to skip over Pavlos here to get that last free play in. But Kev, your thoughts on this one?
I keep hoping that the price on City to actually win the tournament would drift up, but it keeps, firmly stuck there plus 350. Because I actually, I'm surprised this from last year. I like them to potentially be, they're not really a dark horse second favourites, but, on their day, they're potentially good enough to beat, Bayern Munich. So, yeah, I think this is a slam dunk. This is similar to the Munich game. They'll beat Mönchengladbach over 2 legs.
All right, Pavlos, in 30 seconds or less, your thoughts?
Gladbach have a problem against close defenses. Manchester City can be a close defense, can be a very cohesive defense, but I don't see an upset here. Just maybe a lot of goals in Germany, but I don't see an upset here.
All right. So guys, that's the 8 games. I'm going to quickly do a free play. This is posted up at wagertalk.com on my page, but this is a game that goes today at 12:30. It's a German Bundesliga game, and it's between Borussia Mönchengladbach and Eintracht Frankfurt. This is a totals play and over 3. As I stated, I run my own system on totals, and this one came back pretty high, just almost 4.5 goals, 4.46 for this game. So it's going to be a play on the over. Eintracht are starting to get healthy. Andre Silva's back in training with the team, could be back in the lineup today, but I think if anything, he would be on the bench, but we'll see him more than likely on the weekend. Mönchengladbach do get Marcus Thuram back, and along with Plea, that helps that team. So a play on the over 3 today in that German Bundesliga game. Again, it's $2 Tuesday at Wager Talk and Sports Memo. The other promo is the Champ 350. Sorry that we're a little rushing it today, guys. Next week, we'll be back with a completely EPL show with free plays, and we'll go through the whole card. So sorry that we couldn't get to any other games, but thanks for watching, and good luck with your wagers.